Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Hero Cantare video. Alright, we have a bunch of new update. Alright, a bunch of new things that just came out in today's update. So basically the maintenance was earlier today. So first things first, there's two new heroes. Okay, so we're gonna cover them shortly. So if you go to the portal, you will notice this new banner right here. Okay, so the one on the left is Jus Violet Grace, and the one on the right is Nine-tailed Ilpyo Park. We're gonna have a look at their skills shortly after. Alright, but first touch on the banner to get a free pull. Bam! Alright, rank A. It is what it is. Have I done my... okay, I've already done my equipment summon as well. Okay, so besides that, we also have a new trial tower. Alright, so right here, there's a new God of High School. Alright, specifically one. So this is pretty interesting. So now you can have additional climb, I guess. So I'm still stuck at 41 for the regular one. Noblesse one, I'm stuck somewhere in 27. I don't have enough Noblesse characters to play with. And then now we have a GOH. Not sure if this will be permanently here. I hope it will be. I still haven't heard any news regarding the Noblesse one. Will it go away in 1 month or so? Apparently it will. Okay, so besides that, we also have Guild Wars. Alright, now we can have Guild versus Guild, but apparently we are still in the pre-season or something. Let's talk about the event specifically for the heroes. So if you go to the heroes extra activity, they did give out some free points. So that is pretty generous of them to give out free points. So make sure you guys claim it and you can actually get all of these, which will reach the total achievement level. So you still have to do the dailies one. It will still go on for 6 days. But I guess there were some issues, then they were compensating some extra points for you to get all the way here. And one more thing, we have a new hero level up mission since the Noblesse one is gone, alright, with the Rizel and stuff. So now we have this particular one which you can reach level 40, alright, with Ilpyo Park, 60, 80 and 4 stars and 5 stars. And 6 stars, holy, that's not going to be easy. Okay, so alongside with all of this, for Jus Violet Grace as well. Apparently, we will have 50% discount for the Awakening Tree. So that is pretty generous of them to give this to us right now. So you will be able to obtain 50% discount. So that means everything in the Awakening Tree will cost half. But once the event is over, only you can recall it. If you want to recall the units and the heroes, you can only do that once the event is over apparently. Okay, so let's jump into the heroes first. We're gonna have a look at how good the banners are. Alright, first things first, we can notice the stats. 18,000, this is a little bit on the lower side. Alright, so usually the average I see is about 20 to 22,000. So defense 828, HP 143,000, speed is 445. Wait, how much does Rizel has? 138. Okay, he does have pretty high HP. Okay, so first skill. Attacks the opponent with the highest attack 130%, deals additional damage by 10% attack for 2 times. Okay, additional damage 2 times, so that means 20%. So for every additional damage, there's a 50% probability to decrease the opponent's attack by 30%. So there's a 50% chance each for you to be able to decrease enemy's attack. That is a pretty high chance since he will be able to attack twice. Alright, so far the first skill seems pretty decent. Jinsung style piercing removes all buffs. All the buffs applied to one opponent in the front row and the back row and prevents them from receiving buff for 1 turn. Alright, it sort of buff prohibits them in a way. Very interesting. So afterwards, it pierce attacks the opponent by 150%. Okay, so let's see. It doesn't say if this one hits everyone. It just says removes all buffs applied to one opponent in the front row and one opponent in the back row. So I'm guessing it only hits 2 opponents. One in the front, one in the back. Okay, prevents them from receiving buff for 1 turn and it deals additional pierce attacks. So what's the third skill all about? Pierce attacks all opponents 120%, inflicts 170% additional damage to the opponent with the highest HP and stuns the opponent for 1 turn. Whoa, that is a very strong one. I don't like the second skill as much. I do like the third skill. It attacks all opponents, okay, and it stuns the opponent for 1 turn. So that means this guy is going to be good in the advanced bosses for sure, because stun is highly demanded right there. If there's a stage where you solo fight certain stages, alright, perhaps in the trial tower and stuff, the stun can be useful. But most of the time, if you are tackling regular content like PVE and stuff, I seldom use third skill. Usually I will just use the first two skills. And the second skill is good in PvP, I guess. You can remove buffs, right? That can be useful if you're fighting against certain units. Pierce damage, I don't know how much that can be. 150% seems pretty decent. But the third skill is, for me, is where it's at. Alright, if I am building him, it has to be for the third skill because the stun, right? For one turn, that one is really incredible. Alright, so the passive have 15% attack, 15% HP, 10% damage deflection, and 5% crit hit rate boost. Okay, so decent stats all around. Again, this guy's attack is definitely on the lower side. 18,000 is not something you see often. If you guys don't believe me, I'm going to show you guys. Rizel has 19,000. Alright, Unleash Rizel, 22,000, 22,000, 21,000. So definitely his one is definitely on the lower side. So I'm guessing he's gonna be really lacking in the damage. He's not a man to build for burst damage and stuff. There are much better heroes for that. He's more of trying to remove buffs, alright? And also stunning. That's the entire key. Okay, second passive. If the hero doesn't have any debuff when attacking, it boosts 15% attack, 15% critical hit damage, up to 75%. If the hero has debuff when attacking, removes one debuff, recovers 10% of HP, and creates shield with 10% of HP for 2 turns. Alright, it's a pretty decent passive because it gives both conditions, right? I was getting worried there when I read like, if the hero doesn't have any debuff, oh, that means this guy is useful when he gets debuffed. No, at least he gets something when he is debuffed. So just a different thing. Alright, if he doesn't have any debuff, he gets stats boost of 15% attack and 15% crit hit damage. And if he has debuff, he recovers HP and creates a shield with 10% of HP for 2 turns. So ideally, it seems like you want to go for HP then, because high HP, right? I do think that if you were to build him, you want to build him more on the HP side as opposed to the attacking side. This guy might actually be a semi-tank that's used to stun and debuff the enemies. Okay, lastly, we have the Beam Cannon. Attacks all opponents by 100% attack and additionally attacks one random opponent equal to 20% attack 5 times. That means another 100% attack. Okay. The opponent that is hit by the random attack has a 30% chance of being stunned for 1 turn. I don't really like it as much. This is the EX skill, why not give it a higher chance? 30% is really low. Like really low. If this was like 50%, I think it would be much better. Obviously 100% is gonna be super strong, but in this case 30%, eh? Okay, so next we're gonna have a look at Nine-Tailed Ilpyo Park. Okay, so this guy is pretty cool, alright? This is the SS version, alright? He looks cool. So attacks 2 opponents with 105% attack, inflicts a burn, 30% attack with 70% chance for 2 turns. If the target is already burning, extends all DOT, debuff, for 1 turn to the opponent, which is pretty cool, alright? So unfortunately, it only attacks 2 opponents. If this applies to everyone, would be cool. The second skill, okay, this one I like a lot more. Attacks all opponents, 115% attack and inflicts 2 burns, alright? 30% attack for 2 turns. If the target is burning, generates 40% additional damage and makes the opponent unrecoverable. So this is a very good skill. Number 1, the burn is 100% chance, alright? There's no condition of it occurring at a percentage, small minuscule percentage. So as long as he uses second skill, the opponent will always get burned. Number 2, if the enemy is already burned, this 40% additional damage is gonna be so OP. And the unrecoverable is 100% chance as well, which is crazy. Alright, so now this is an OP skill for sure. If you pair him with another burn unit, and look at that, oh my, look at this attack, 24,000. Okay, speed, HP and defense is very low though. He's very low everything else, but that attack, wow, it's like the opposite of Jus Violet Grace. Okay, so next up we have attacks all opponents with 130% attack, inflicts 50% additional damage if the opponent is debuffed, explodes all burns to to inflict 40% of additional damage per 1 applied burn on the opponent. So the more burn on the enemy, the more explosion this will deal. If there's 3, it's like 120% additional damage. That is insane. Holy moly. And he definitely needs to pair with someone who can deal burn ahead of time, right? If that's the case, he's gonna be pretty strong, alright? He's gonna be pretty insane. Something like Yon's Flames Kun, or I can't think of any other burn units, but there might be plenty of others as well. Alright, 15% attack boost, 15% debuff accuracy boost, 10% HP boost, 5% damage deflection boost. Alright, quite a lot of boost right there. Okay, so second passive, if any debuff is applied to the hero at the end of the turn, removes 1 debuff and creates shield 20% HP for 2 turns. If the hero is eliminated with burning, resurrects himself for 1 time. Okay, so he's all about burn again. Okay, so that's a pretty cool skill. He does resurrect, but only if he is eliminated with burning though. If enemy deals poison or bleed, then he cannot resurrect. Like, this resurrection is so restrictive to burn specifically. Okay, the skills are pretty decent, okay. And so far, after comparing both of them, I can see that I think Jus Violet Grace is gonna be much more of a PVE unit, alright, based on what I can see right now. Ideally dealing stun and stuff. To be honest, I'm more excited for Ninetail Ilpyo Park. Alright, I do think he can fit in my team better. For Jus Violet Grace, I think we'll have to see. Based on my first impressions, right, it seems like this dude is much more of a PvE based hero compared to PvP. Okay, so let's have a look at the Guild Wars. Alright, you can register the guild right here. Okay, so under the Guild Wars section, boom, and then you can see standing by for Guild War. How do I register? How do I... Guild Masters are allowed to register for participation, and all guild members are set to defense team during the preparation period. I don't see a register button anywhere. Okay, so what is Guild War? Fight for your guild's glory. If you join a guild, it has more than 10 guild members, your guild meets a qualification to participate. So Guild Master can register, and guild members can compete with the opponent guild in PvE. So I'm not sure how to register, I just couldn't find the button. Maybe it's mentioned right here. Alright, Guild War pre-season, alright, lasts for a week. When the regular season starts, all records from pre-season will reset. So what's the pre-season for then? During the Guild War pre-season, 300 guild coins per a Guild War play, PvP or PvE, will be distributed. That is very cool. You're getting more guild coins, and those things are quite precious. So getting ready for Guild War. Okay, preparation period. So from this period to this period, Friday. From Monday, preparation period. Oh, okay, so I can only do it on Friday. Guild Master registers to Guild War. Afterwards, all guild members can set their defense team. Okay, so I can only do it on Friday. I can't do it yet. Maybe that's why. Alright, from this time to this time, Guild War system finds the opponent guild to match with. Hopefully, the matchmaking is good, because I don't want to face whale guilds. Both guilds check their opponent guild and their defense teams. So from 12 o'clock Saturday, alright, Sunday Guild War processes. Calculate rankings and standings. Guild War finishes, system calculates, blah blah blah. Okay, Guild Master can register. Once registration is complete, every Guild War can set their defense team. I don't have this. I don't have this button right here. Mine is like only this part. So setting defense team for Guild War. So make sure you guys set defense team. Alright, I believe it's something like PvP. You have a defense team, you have an attacking team. So every guild member must set 2 defense team with 5 heroes each. Okay, it's very interesting approach. 5 heroes, 2 defense teams. When guild master registered, alright, guild members will be relocated to setting defense team automatically. Alright, you can only modify it before it. You can't modify it once the Guild War has started. So during Guild War period, the hero status or equipment cannot be reflected to the defense team. Oh yeah, if you change your equipments, it will not affect whatever that you have registered, right? So there are 5 sets, 10v10, 15 versus 15, 20 versus 20, 25 versus 25, and 30 versus 30. That's the one that I'm most hyped for. The numbers mean the amount of defense teams, and all guild members belong to the guild can attack regardless of the set's number. Okay, so the number basically only means 30 defense teams. Alright, That means if you have 40 members, like all guild can have up to maximum 40 members, right? So 30 of them can set their defense team. Alright, this is for defending, but for attacking, alright, all of them can attack regardless of how the set's numbers. So this means that if everybody attacks, I'm not sure how the points will be calculated. I think everybody should attack, all 40 members should try to participate, so you get more points. So they are giving an example right here. If Guild A has 31 defense teams, Guild B has 27, the system makes them match. It will be set 25 versus 25 and the system will pick 25 defense team, consider the balance. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, even though you set... Wait, how can you put 31 when they say maximum is 30? I assume it will always try to balance it out so that both opponents will have even. So because this one, the closest one is 27, so they have no choice but to reduce it to 25, which is the next lowest one after 30, right? So there's that. When there is no guilds meet the balance, the guild will have a match with a guild with clones of Nightmare. What? So if there's no guild to match against, we get to fight a guild with clones of Nightmare. The guild will have clone opponent from the guild's defense team. That sounds like fun. Oh, that sounds like fun. You will always have someone to fight against, and if you don't have, then you get to fight your own clones. Okay, that's gonna be... Okay, so this is like literally clones, I'm guessing. Okay, so Guild War PVP allows to attack the opponent guild member's defense team. Every guild member has 2 chances to choose their opponent to attack on the field. Attack chance decreases when one battle is complete, regardless of the result. So if a guild member's attack team wins from the Guild War PVP, it will get 1 star and it will be contributed to the Guild War point. So 1 win equals to 1 star, alright? If guild member's defense team loses, it will retreat from the Guild War and cannot be attacked again. Okay, so once you have defeated a defense team, that team cannot be attacked again. So every guild has 2 teams of defense team, total of 60 stars can be acquired if it's a 30 versus 30, right? Okay, that makes sense. So in Guild Wars PvP, every hero can only be used once. So if a hero is used in the first attack, it cannot be used on the second attack. This is for attacking. So let's say I use Kaiser, I use Crusade Mirayo, I use Black March Bam. So these 3, I use and I attack and I won, right? And then if I want to attack the next one, I cannot use them again. So ideally you want to have 10 build up SS units, which is not going to be easy. Okay, okay, that makes sense. Does everyone even have 10 powered up SS to the max? I doubt so. I think most players will have like 5, 6 like me. So when you set your attack team, only the heroes assigned to your defense team can be used. Oh, this is one more stipulation. Ah, okay. So only the heroes assigned to your defense team. Whoever you put in a defense team, you have to use them in attacking as well. You cannot change it up. You cannot use certain heroes just to counter another hero. So that kind of sucks in a way because it sort of limits your flexibility to try to put a strategy to counter enemies' formation. But in a way, it's much more for the balance reason, or else the whales will have much more advantage because they have plenty of pool of heroes built up, right? Okay, so Guild Wars PvE. In the middle of Guild War, Queen No Name is stationed leading new nightmares. Every guild member has a 1 chance to attack Queen No Name in Guild War PvE during the Guild War period. Alright, never retreats with the power of Nightmare. Every guild member has 15 turns to attack Queen No Name and the amount of damage from the guild members are accumulated. So instead of battling another guilds, this is much more of a super raid boss or something, right? So when Guild War is finished, the system compares 2 guilds' damage and gives more stars to the guild that dealt more damage. Okay, you want damage. It's all about damage. Unlike Guild War PvP, a hero used in PvP can be assigned to attack team in PvE. So top 5 guild members' damage record from each guild who dealt the most damage in Guild Wars PvE are listed on the board. Alright, so that pretty much sums up the Guild Wars. So there's 2 different modes, PvP and PvE. There's a lot of things to digest, definitely. But very cool. I do appreciate the new contents. And I hope I'll be able to make more videos when the Guild Wars are actually out. Alright, please note that this post is based on the Guild War pre-season. Contents features may change when the regular season begins. Let's go. Let's go, I'm hype. Okay, so that pretty much sums up for everything in the new patch. Extremely excited, extremely hyped. And if you guys are still looking for a guild, I do have one slot left. Alright, so if you're looking to join a decent guild, my guild is not like the strongest guild out there, but I do think that we are a group of players who are active. Alright, so if you want to join like an active guild, feel free to do so. I might have multiple players who are inactive, so I might have like more than one spot, maybe 2 to 3. I'm not sure, I haven't checked it yet. But yeah, make sure you guys do so. Find a guild immediately. As always, that's gonna be it for today's video. I will end the video for now, and hopefully the next video we're gonna do some polls. Alright, so if you haven't already subscribed, give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.